Senate Republicans push forward Trump's Big, Beautiful Bill amid deep divisions. Senate Republicans are advancing an ambitious legislative package designed to fulfill key elements of former President Donald Trump's policy agenda. Nicknamed the One Big Beautiful Bill, the legislation combines sweeping tax cuts, increases in defense and border security spending, and major cuts to social programs like Medicaid. Passed through a 51-49 procedural vote, the bill is currently moving through the reconciliation process and a lengthy vote-a-rama session in the Senate. The bill aims to extend or make permanent much of the 2017 Trump-era tax reform while pairing those cuts with reductions in federal health care and social safety net spending. The White House's Council of Economic Advisers argues the bill would reduce the federal deficit by as much as $5.5 trillion over a decade, depending on assumed economic impacts. However, the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office, CBO, contradicts that claim, warning that the plan could increase deficits by up to $4.5 trillion, mainly due to revenue loss from tax cuts and debt ceiling hikes. One of the most controversial provisions is a series of deep cuts to Medicaid. The bill phases out provider taxes, rolls back Affordable Care Act expansions, and imposes new work requirements. Critics say these changes could strip coverage from millions, especially in rural areas. But in a blow to the GOP's agenda, the Senate parliamentarian ruled that several Medicaid-related changes violate the Bad Rule, which limits what can be passed under reconciliation. Republicans are now racing to revise or replace those provisions. Another major flashpoint is the state and local tax, SALT, deduction cap. The Senate Finance Committee decided to maintain the current $10,000 limit, rejecting the House's proposed $40,000 cap. This decision has sparked backlash from Republicans in high-tax states who warn the lack of relief could cost GOP support in swing districts. The bill also targets Biden-era green energy tax credits, accelerating their expiration. While popular among conservative factions, this move faces internal resistance from Republicans in states with growing clean energy industries. Some warn the rollback could hurt job growth and jeopardize GOP chances in key Senate races. A recent commentary warned that undoing clean energy incentives might cost Republicans control of the chamber. The legislation originally included a provision dubbed the Revenge Tariff, granting Trump broad power to impose a 20% tax on foreign investment. But that language was removed after opposition from Treasury Secretary Trey Bessent and financial markets. Meanwhile, the bill includes a massive increase in the debt ceiling to prevent default, a politically risky but necessary maneuver to implement the rest of the agenda. Political and procedural challenges persist. The Senate parliamentarians' rulings have forced major rewrites, and intra-party divisions remain stark. Fiscal conservatives like Senators Rand Paul and Josh Hawley demand deeper spending cuts, while moderates such as Susan Collins and Tom Tillis worry about the impacts on hospitals, middle-class families, and renewable energy jobs. Trump has weighed in personally, pressuring lawmakers to support the bill and threatening primary challenges against dissenters. Republican leadership hopes to finalize the package before the July 4th recess, but with ongoing rewrites and unresolved disputes, the timeline remains uncertain. In sum, the bill represents a bold effort to codify Trump's policy vision through a single legislative vehicle. Yet the Senate GOP faces a precarious balancing act, juggling reconciliation rules, deficit concerns, and internal ideological rifts. Whether the Big Beautiful Bill ultimately becomes law or collapses under its own contradictions will be a defining moment for the GOP in the 2025 legislative session.